Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Dina Elise Moore, and welcome to the new version of unedited raw videos. Um, I'm a brain hacker, not a tech guru, and apparently editing videos makes me sound kind of unnatural, so I felt like authenticity was probably going to be more important than perfect videos. So that being said, we might hear dogs barking, cat might jump up on the screen. So if you will just be kind enough to overlook that, I'm going for the real version of me, not the robotic edited version of me. So today we're going to just dive right into this. I want you to think about what you did this morning, the first 90 seconds after you woke up. Now, the most of us, we reach for our phone. And if you did that, you already made a decision about your finances for the day. And it probably wasn't the decision that you meant to make. It probably wasn't the decision that you thought it was going to be. Today, what we're going to talk about isn't a productivity tip, it's a morning routine upgrade. The reason that everything that you've tried, the affirmations, the vision boards, the gratitude journals, the reason why your financial reality keeps producing the same results is because of the first 90 seconds of your day. Every single day, every single morning. Here's what the neuroscience said. For the first 15 to 20 minutes after you wake up, your brain is operating in the theta brainwave state. Now, it's not always 15 to 20 minutes exactly. Some people jump into the beta states a lot faster. Maybe it could be the first 5 minutes, depending on how you've trained your brain. But those first minutes are the critical moments in your brainwave state. It's that same state that you're in during a deep hypnosis, a deep meditation. It's the same state that you were in for actually the first 7 years of your life. And this is the only state where your subconscious mind is fully accessible. That critical filtering faculty of your conscious mind has not fully booted up. It is not online yet. And that means that whatever you feed your brain in those first few minutes goes directly into your subconscious programming, bypassing the defense mechanisms of our conscious thought. Now, what does most of the world do with this precious window of our neurology? Well, we open Instagram, we look at TikTok, we check the news, we check our emails, WhatsApp, we check our voicemails. We think about things that we can't afford. We think about our to-do list while we're in this theta programmable state. So our brain is recording the content the same way that a child records a belief that was taught in our childhood, in our infancy. Not as entertainment, it takes it as truth, takes it as evidence of your reality. And honestly, most of that content is almost always negative. It's news, it's disasters, it's scarcity. And you're reprogramming yourself for financial limitations before you've even said good morning. Here is where this gets very specific to financial manifestation. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows that most people wake up and they immediately begin rehearsing their limitations. They think about their bills. They think about their unfinished goals. They think about what they don't have yet or what they're behind on. And when you're in this theta state, you're literally recoding, you're reinforcing those limitations into your nervous system as your baseline expectation for the entire day. And so then your brain spends the rest of the day confirming that baseline. It filters for evidence that matches the programming that you installed at 6:47 a.m. in the morning. This is why people who've been doing manifestation work for years still feel stuck. It's not that the law of attraction doesn't work. It's that they're overriding their conscious manifestation work with those 15 precious minutes of subconscious programming every single morning. And I'll add to that, probably in the evening before they go to bed too. The HeartMath Institute calls this incoherence, when your heart signal and your brain signal are broadcasting different messages. When they're incoherent, you are going to attract incoherent results. It's as though you're sending mixed signals out to the universe, near misses, things that almost worked but didn't. let's filter, let's name the specific habits because vague is kind of useless. This is the order of damage being done. Number 1, checking your phone before you get out of bed, even if it's positive content, because the act of making your phone the first thing that your brain engages in trains your nervous system that external input controls your internal state. That's a scarcity problem. Abundant people whose nervous systems are calibrated for wealth, their internal state is their anchor, not their feed, not what they're told to feel. Okay, the second problem, checking your bank balance first thing in the morning. I know why people do it. It feels responsible, but if your balance creates anxiety, and for a lot of people it does, you just flooded your body with cortisol during your reprogramming window. Cortisol shuts down that prefrontal cortex. That's the part of the brain that creates new possibilities. So you've literally just chemically prevented yourself from thinking expansively while that cortisol is in your system, probably for the next hour. The third mistake is starting off the morning with somebody else's agenda, emails, messages, group chats. The moment you respond to someone else's priorities first, you've signaled to your subconscious that your desires come second every morning as a pattern. And that signal starts compounding. We're enhancing that. We're feeding it. We're strengthening it. You see how that's a problem? Okay, so the fourth mistake, and this might surprise some of us, negative self-talk that feels like truth. So we probably say things like, "Oh, I'm so tired," or "I have so much to do. I can't believe it's already Monday." These might feel like neutral observations of truth. But in this theta state, your subconscious mind is recording these as identity statements. You're coding yourself as someone who is tired, overwhelmed, not enough time, which is the exact identity that cannot manifest financial freedom. Okay, so I'm going to do the channel plug here. If what I'm talking about is resonating with you, do a like, do a subscribe, leave comments down there. I read all the comments. And if you're wondering which of these programs is screaming the loudest in your unconscious mind, please download the free diagnostic tool that I created. It's called the Reality Gap Audit. It will show you the neural patterns that are creating this gap between what you want and what you have. It's free. It takes 10 minutes. The link's below. I have had a lot of people say that it's going to spam, so check your spam. Okay, so now you know what not to do. Here's the protocol. Here's what you do. 5 minutes, that's it. It doesn't require any equipment, and it works. Whether you have 10 minutes or an hour, you can do this 5-minute protocol really quickly before you open your eyes. And I know I'm repeating this, but I know that there are new people here, and I really want to emphasize that this works. Breathe. 4 counts in. Hold it. And the most important part is exhale for 8 seconds. The exhale needs to be longer than the inhale, and I want you to do this at least 3 times, preferably even for about a minute or more. And this one thing is what shifts your nervous system from the sympathetic, which is that threat response, scarcity mode, to the parasympathetic receive abundance mode. You cannot manifest from a stressed nervous system. This is not optional. This is physiological. Before you reach for your phone, state your identity, not an affirmation, an identity statement. The difference is this: I am wealthy, when you have 28 cents in your bank account, is an affirmation that your subconscious very probably is going to reject. It is normal for me to have financial security. It is becoming easier for me to attract wealth. I'm learning a new way of financial abundance. My nervous system expects this. These are identity installations that your unconscious mind has a much easier time accepting because you're not claiming something that you don't have. You're instructing your brain on what to treat as this set point, as this baseline. So before you check anything external, spend 2 minutes in an elevated emotion. Feel the version of your life that has what you're working towards, not desperately, not wishfully, just as a normal, quiet fact. Notice what your breathing feels like. Notice what the quality of your morning feels like when financial stress is no longer the first thing that you think about. Give your body that gift. Let yourself experience that, and then you can open your phone. Now, I've read a lot of comments of people saying, how do I do this if I've never felt it? I've been in constant states of stress my entire life. I can't feel that. It's okay. I know. You're normal. That's why you're watching these videos. And I'm going to tell you, your brain cannot tell the difference between faking it, imagining it, making it up, and reality. Your unconscious mind, you are programming it probably for the first time. So as you're faking abundance, just let yourself kind of notice that if you could have that, what would it feel like? Maybe it would feel a little bit more relaxed. And you're going to go with that for now because it does get better. It does get easier as you start practicing. The total time, it only takes 5 minutes. You could do this in bed before you even hit the floor. Breathe in 3 to 4 breaths, 1 minute. This doesn't have to be so precise. Give yourself a little bit of grace here. So you're going to do the breathing, you're going to do an identity statement, and then let yourself feel this feeling for just about 2 minutes. That's your new morning protocol. And what you've just done is you've used that same theta window that was previously programming you for the limitation, and you've turned it in to your most powerful manifestation tool of the day. The morning habit that's been blocking your manifestation is not a character flaw. It is not who you are. It's a default program that nobody put in there deliberately. It just sort of became the path of least resistance. It just became automatic. The fix is 5 minutes, and start it tomorrow morning or start it tonight. So that reality gap audit in the description will tell you more about your specific patterns. Please, please, please drop comments. I am reading every single one of the comments. What's the first thing you think in the morning? What's the first thing that you've been reaching for every morning? I'm really curious. I respond to all the comments. And so if you feel like this was useful, please subscribe because I am diligently working on sharing this information multiple times a week. Okay. Unedited version. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.